I didn't become magnetic and really good at manifestation by scripting, doing 369, tapping. In fact, I stopped doing all of that. I made 5 weird shifts, almost uncomfortable shifts. And after that, life started chasing after me. The money, the love, the opportunities, everything is started to flow. Hi, my name is Bia Yuri, and if manifestation feels hard for you, like inconsistent, or it only works when you don't even know, when you're high vibes, I get it. I've been there, but I cracked the code. Not by doing more, but by removing what was blocking me, removing what was blocking my natural magnetism. So let's talk about this 5 shifts that made me really good in the art of manifesting. So the first shift that I made, and it sounds counterintuitive, but I stopped trying to manifest. I completely stopped trying to manifest. I stopped obsessing over every single technique. No more 369 journaling, scripting, marathons of in scripting in the full moon, the portal, lion's portal, whatever that was. And I started being the version of me who already had it, the version of me that it's done. In fact, we are human beings, not human doing. So instead of begging to the universe, asking God for it, I switched to it's done. We see, when you are operating in the 3D consciousness, you think that I have to do something in order to get to point A to point B. But when you start to operate from the 5D consciousness, then you understand that you are. So it's like, duh, of course, God is taking care of the best possible outcomes. Everything is taken care of. God already said yes to everything. And that's when Dr. Joe Dispenza, I don't know if you guys follow his work, but that's when he says that synchronicity starts to happen, and you know you created that manifestation, that reality, because it just comes, the event comes to you. That's because you're accessing the 5D consciousness that you are. You don't need to do anything to get it. You don't need to script more. You don't need to do more techniques. Like when you open TikTok, I was one of those. You open TikTok and there's like, if you want to become a millionaire, then you got to do this. No, you got to make a decision of what you want and decide that you're worthy of receiving. Give yourself permission to receive it. But I get it, that permission is not here conscious, in the conscious mind, is on a subconscious level. But the second thing that I did that made me really good in manifestation is that I did not become misgratitude. I did not. And I think that's a very overrated thing that you see everybody talking about it. Be grateful. And I get it. Gratitude has a very strong and powerful frequency. But matter of fact, when you are in the limbo, in the your rock bottom, and your physical reality is like shit, it's very hard to feel genuinely grateful. It's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm grateful, I am healthy, but like deep down you're pissed off, you're drained, right? If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Instead of being misgratitude, I built EQ, emotional intelligence. So why is that? Because our emotions are our internal GPS. And we have all the spectrum, the full spectrum of emotions for a reason. It's not by accident that we feel angry, that we feel shame, fear. It's all designed with a purpose. So when you start to look at your emotions, instead of being your enemy, is literally just feeding you through your human experience and guiding you through whatever circumstances that you're going through. Perhaps if someone crossed your boundaries, you're going to feel angry, and that's how you are experiencing reality. So it's not your enemy, it's just guiding you through life, and that's a wonderful thing. So instead of bypassing it, because anything that you bypass, your emotions, it's going to get trapped in your body. The only way to release it is to feel it and release it. So I started to develop emotional intelligence, not toxic positive, because I used to be the toxic positive. No, you just gotta think positive, everything's gonna work out. No, I sit fully with my emotions and I look, what is this trying to show me? And then I tap into emotional regulation, Mind you, a really quick tip about emotional intelligence is that the only thing that you have 100% control and responsibility of is you. Then when you look at the people who are close to your inner circle, that has a direct impact on you, because anything that is close to you, that has access to you, will have an impact on you. So you cannot expect to control anything that is like your husband, your kids. Yes, you can put your expectation there, but you cannot control 100% their actions, because they have their free will. If you understand that, you're gonna understand that the only thing you can control is you. That's something I try to teach my kids. Regardless of what people do, the only thing you can control is how you're going to respond instead of reacting. And lastly, if it is something that you have absolutely no control, like the economy, like COVID, you should not put 100% of your expectations in it. The third thing that I did that really changed my game of manifestation is that I made peace with reality. When life triggered me, when shit happened, when things didn't go as planned, I stopped blaming other people. Ooh, sorry. I stopped blaming others. I stopped questioning, asking God, God, why is this happening? Why me? This is your fault. Like, this is your fault. No. I sit fully with my reality, because reality is a mirror. You can't change the outer without change what's going on in the inner. So everything is like, look at it not as from a victim standpoint of life is just happening and I'm being slammed with everything that's going on, but sit with the point of view that this is triggering me right now. This is pissing me off. This relationship is draining me. Why is it draining me? That's your clue. That's your clue that you are in the wrong program, because the program, the original program, is that you are worthy of unconditional healthy love, of you are worthy of all of the abundance that there is in this world. And so when you start to look at your problems as the solution, as the clues to your internal programming, then it becomes easier to change what's in here, so then you can change what's out there. It's like you're standing in front of a mirror and you're expecting the mirror to change, but you are serious. And you expect the mirror to smile at you, but you're with a grouchy face. That doesn't work that way. So look at every painful situation as a breadcrumb that will take you deeper to your subconscious blocks. Or it could be your soul expansion. Like when I lost my first husband, I spiraled down and I tried to find answers, and I know that incident happened for my soul expansion. After that moment, it was really transformative, and that's when my awakening journey really started. So instead of spiraling down, sit with it and try to decode what life is trying to show, because life is not like school. Okay, you're not gonna learn your lesson first and then you're gonna take the test to see if you pass. No, that's school. You're gonna get the lesson and then, okay guys, now you have the test to see if you learn something. No, in life you learn with the test and then you get the lesson. The fourth thing that I did to really change my reality fast and make me really good in manifesting is that I didn't try to believe. I didn't try to force a belief. You know how you hear like, oh, you have to believe it's possible in order for that thing to come through in your reality. I didn't do that. And the reason why I say that with 100% conviction is that not necessarily what you think with your conscious mind is what's in your subconscious mind. So sometimes you say, I believe it. I believe I'm going to get healthy. I believe that I'm going to get cured from this illness. But subconsciously, that's not what's going on. Subconsciously, you have a secondary gain for being sick. And yeah, what are you talking about? You're saying that, Karina has cancer because that's that's a good thing for her. That's a secondary. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Because once she has that cancer, now she has more empathy, or now she has a bigger problem that she doesn't have to look at her relationship that is like shit and her husband is a toxic narcissistic person. And so she doesn't have to look at that because she's so afraid. So it's better for her to have something that, yes, is really going to harm her body, but now she's not going to have to, have so physically close to him, have sexual relationships, and he's gonna treat her better. She's gonna get all the love and attention that she was craving and she was not getting. And so sometimes what you think you want in your conscious mind, or you think that you believe in your conscious mind, is not what's in here. And so instead, I just lived in my imagination. And the reason why I said I know this with 100% conviction that it works is because I empirically have evidence of this. When I was in Brazil, if you follow me for a while, you heard the story 1,000 times already, but I had no possible way in my 3D reality to come to Hawaii, to live in the US, okay? Because you need the visa, you need, like, if you don't have the visa, then you need the money. And I didn't have any of that. But I wasn't trying, like, oh, how I'm gonna make this work. At first I was, but then I was like, you know what, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't believe it's gonna happen, because there's no way. I studied all the possibilities, and that require a lot of money, because I wasn't just gonna come here just cause. And I didn't have the money to, like, I just finished my college in Brazil, and I didn't have the money to pay a college here, because, you know, the currency was much more here in the US. Anyways, I literally, the whole day, I would put headphones on and tune into the Hawaiian radio stations. And because I've been here before, I knew what the reality here felt like, the energy of here felt like. So it was really easy for me to blend realities. And once, like, I was salary based in Brazil, and once I finished my work around like lunchtime, I would clock out, like, I think like 4 or 5 p.m., but I had all that time in my hands to do nothing. So I would put in my headphones, and I was just like visualize myself being here, playing in the beach with my twins. Mind you, I now have twins, a boy and a girl, okay? And before I went to sleep, and right when I woke up, I had this wall with photos of my photos in Hawaii. And so that's like another very powerful way to impress your subconscious mind when you are in your theta state. Anyways, I wasn't trying forcing affirmations. I wasn't trying to force myself into belief that that was a possibility for me. All I was doing is spending time in my imagination with a very strong emotion, and like to the point that I was so delusional that I wasn't in Brazil, I was here. And I know a lot of people have a hard time in visualizing, but that's why when I say blending reality is really good. If you can access somehow physically that reality that you're trying to get to, like let's say if you want to be a millionaire, if you can somehow meet people who are millionaires and get into their space. When I say get into their space, it's like go to the golf club that they go to, or I go to the, like, I don't know, Rolex store and try it on, the most expensive Rolex. Try to make your body feel like that's norm, that's your normal, because then you're gonna tap into that frequency of what it is like to be in that place. Another really good tip that I have is use your social media as a feeder for your imagination. Stop following the gossip accounts, wasting your time with that, and follow accounts that is like, wow, oh my god, this person has the life that I want to have. And I know social media is like, you know, everybody just posts whatever they want to post, but like when they post the trips, when they post their house, it's like, wow, this is what I want. Not from a point of lack and jealousy, but wow, this is available for them, that's what I want for me too, this is available for me too. Because God doesn't pick its favorite. He doesn't pick its favorite. It's all about the programs that you carry within you, and you realizing that you are worthy of it. And so stop trying to force your belief and dwell in your imagination. Okay, no pressure, just impress your subconscious mind. And the last thing that I did that made me really good in manifestation is that I realized that I was emotionally attracted to the almost there. Have you been there? For a long time, you're like, I really want the money, I really want the success, I really want this, I really want the love, whatever it is that you're aiming for. But in reality, you don't want those things because you're not ready to let go of what you currently have. When you have that new reality, it means that you are going to have open space. You're going to have to let go. And detachment is a very hard thing if you haven't mastered your ego, if I can say so, right? The ego will always want a familiar hell versus an unfamiliar heaven. We were programmed biologically, the nervous system, to seek what's familiar. That's because of survival, right? That's the basic survival mechanism of human beings. If you think about back in the days, we used to live in tribes, and if you left the tribe, you would die. So you want to stay in what's familiar, even if that means to stay broke, to stay in a toxic relationship. And so you have to realize that when you're like, oh, I really want, I almost made it, I almost, and there's always something that stops you from getting there. That shit is not random. It's not random. That's you unconsciously sabotaging yourself because you fear what's in the new reality. So you have to be honest with yourself. What is the payoff of being stuck in this shitty reality? Shitty reality, I shouldn't say this, but right? When people say, like, for example, with money, for a long time I thought that if I just think about when I become a millionaire, that good feeling, and when I have a lot of money, then it's gonna be all like unicorns and rainbows, and you just gotta be like really high frequency. So you're telling me someone that has a lot of money, they don't have the full spectrum of emotions, and they are not pissed off, they're not angry, they're not anxious. Sometimes they're even more anxious. Why? Because more money possibly entitles you to more responsibility. Because if you have like a shitload of money, that means probably you have a business. Now you have more families under you, more responsibility. In a way, you have employees, you have to think about all these families, and you have a new lifestyle set point, and you have to keep up with all of that. You have to make sure you are keeping up with the business strategies, with whatever. You guys getting what I'm getting to? And your nervous system, your subconscious is going to understand, oh, too much work. Yeah, no, that's gonna be too much work. Better stay here. That's familiar. I know what I'm doing here. At least like I know every first of the month I'm gonna like, but this is safe. This is the inner conversation that you have going on inside of you. So stop trying to force your outcomes and really be honest with yourself. What would change in your reality if you had everything that you want right now? What relationships would change? Because that's your biggest clue, especially relationships. People are so loyal to the dynamics of the relationships that they don't even realize. I had so many clients that I helped that just stuck their business, and they don't realize they don't have permission to make more than their parents did. They don't have permission to make more money because now they are revenging from their parents because their parents were not so good when they were growing up. So now they're making their parents still pay for what they didn't do back then. And that's why they don't make more money. And you think all this shit is random, that the client cancel last minute is random, that once you finally made the money something broke, that's random, that's bad luck. It's not. It's your patterns. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You're gonna find the answer. And I get it, this work is not as easy to find the answers by yourself if you don't have these lenses that I'm trying to give it to you guys, handle to you guys. But it's there and it's available for you guys. These 5 shifts were like the hardest shifts that I and that's why I created Roy, my community. Return to your original identity. That's when I dive deep into the subconscious program. It's not just like, oh, money is hard to make, like every man cheats type of thing, because those are just the basic universal limiting beliefs from our society collectively, right? But there are the very personal ones that you are holding on to because it's a benefit for you to stay in this crappy reality. And that's what I really dive deep into my community. If you're interested, click on the link in the description. And so these were the 5 weirdest shifts that I made, and they were not techniques, they were identity updates. I stopped manifesting from a wounded self, and I started manifesting from I am, the 5D consciousness. And when I did, I became a portal for miracles. So if this hit your soul, make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share this with someone who is still stuck into the doing, into the human doing. And if you're ready to rewire your subconscious mind for real, not BS, and create a reality from your true identity and step into your rich, loved, magnetic, unbothered era, click in the link in the description. I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Aloha.